आप सभी लोगों का हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल एमसीक्यू अड्डा पे स्वागत है। और आज हम बात करेंगे, सॉल्व करेंगे 50 एमसीक्यू करंट अफेयर्स। उम्मीद है आप लोगों के लिए काफ़ी ये ज्ञानवर्धक होगा, एग्जामिनेशन के लिए उपयोगी होगा। चलिए शुरू करते हैं। पहला सवाल लेते हैं, व्हाई द यूज ऑफ हाउस रेंट अलाउंस डाटा ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉइज हैज बीन रिस्ट्रिक्टेड इन द एग्जिस्टिंग सीपीआई हाउसिंग टेक्नोलॉजी? Which option is true? Because HRA data captures only metropolitan housing markets and ignores tier 2 cities. Because HRA is administratively determined and does not reflect market-based rental movements. Option C, because HRA excludes owner-occupied housing and rural dwellings. Option D, because HRA inflates housing weight disproportionately in all India CPI. Which answer is true? Option B is true. The core criticism is that HR is linked to pay commissions and administrative rules, not actual rental market dynamics. Next question, the inclusion of imputed rent for owner-occupied rural housing in CPI primarily aims to: Option A, capture the opportunity cost of housing services consumed by households, increase of weight of housing in all India CPI. Option C, reflect changes in real estate asset prices in inflation measurement. Option D, align CPI with wholesale price index WPI methodology. Which option is correct? Option A is correct. Capture the opportunity cost of housing services consumed by households. Imputed rent measures the implicit value of housing services consumed, not asset prices. Question number 3. How does monthly rent data collection as proposed improve CPI inflation measurement compared to the existing 6 monthly system? Option A, it eliminates seasonal bias in the housing prices. B, it enhances sensitivity to short-term rental market changes. Option C, it increases the housing weight automatically. Option D, it ensures real-time inflation targeting by the RBI. Whose option is correct? Option B is correct. It enhances sensitivity to short-term rental market changes. Monthly data allows CPI to respond faster and more accurately to rent changes and reducing lag effects. Next question. The proposed CPI housing revision aligns with global best practices mainly because it: Option A, expands coverage to rural housing markets. Option B, uses panel-based rent tracking for month-to-month comparability. Option C, eliminates government-administered price processes. Option D, increases the sample size across regions. Which option is correct? Option B is correct. Uses panel-based rent tracking for month-to-month comparability. The hallmark global CPI best practices IMF guidance is panel-based tracking, which ensures consistency and reduces volatility. अगला सवाल, which of the following is the most significant macroeconomic implication of the revised CPI housing methodology? Option A, it may lead to higher headline inflation permanently. Option B, it improves the credibility of inflation targeting and welfare indexation. Option C, it reduces fiscal expenditure on housing subsidies. Option D, it harmonizes CPI inflation with GDP deflators. Which option is correct? Option B is correct. It improves the credibility of inflation targeting and welfare indexation. The reform strengthens policy credibility, ensuring better monetary calibration and welfare targeting. यहाँ दिया हुआ यूपीएससी एनालिटिकल टेकअवे, इन्हें आप पढ़ लीजिएगा, थोड़ा सा समझ में आ जाएगा बढ़िया से। और क्वेश्चन नंबर 6, विथ रेफरेंस टू डिजाइन एंड फिलोसफी ऑफ DAY ANRLM इसका फुल फॉर्म होता है दीनदयाल अंत्योदय योजना, नेशनल रूरल लाइवलीहुड्स मिशन। कंसीडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स। फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, द मिशन adopts a right based approach by prioritizing social mobilization before credit delivery. Second statement, it is restructuring from SGSY Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana indicates a shift from individual beneficiary focus to collective institutions. Statement 3, renaming the mission in 2016 reflects an emphasis on last mile inclusion aligned with Antyodaya philosophy. Statement 4, the scheme primarily targets wage employment generation in rural areas. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option A is correct. 1, 2, 3 statements are correct. Social mobilization via SHG precedes credit leads to institutional empowerment. Statement second, clear shift from SGS by individual subsidy model to collective institutions. Statement 3, Antyodaya philosophy focuses on poorest. Next question, which of the following features of the NRLM most directly strengthen financial resilience in rural areas? Statement 1, पहला स्टेटमेंट है collateral free loans with high repayment rates. दूसरा, deployment of bank शाखीज for doorstep financial services. तीसरा, इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ SHG सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स विद ई कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म्स। चौथा स्टेटमेंट, यूनिवर्सल कवरेज ऑफ रूरल हाउसहोल्ड्स अंडर फॉर्मल बैंकिंग। सिलेक्ट द करेक्ट आंसर यूजिंग द कोड बिलो। ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट। 1, 2, 3 फर्स्ट 1, 2, 3 आर करेक्ट। क्रेडिट एक्सेस प्लस रीपेमेंट डिसिप्लिन बिल्ड्स रिसाइलेंस। कम्युनिटी इंटरमीडियरीज रिड्यूस ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट। Market integration improves income stability. Next question, the inclusion of Krishi Sakhis, Pasu Sakhis and Bank Sakhis under DAY-NRLM indicates. First, पहला statement, decentralization of extension and financial services. दूसरा statement, reduction of dependence on formal government machinery. तीसरा, creation of community based human capital. चौथा स्टेटमेंट, रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशन इन सर्विस डिलीवरी। व्हिच ऑफ द एबव करेक्ट? इसमें कौन सा सही है? ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट। 1, 2, 3 आर करेक्ट। सर्विसेज डिलीवर्ड एट विलेज लेवल, कम्युनिटी कैडर्स complement formal systems, skill and development, skill leadership creation within villages. Next question, consider the following statements regarding DAY-NRLM's livelihood and skill strategy. पहला statement, the mission integrates farm and non-farm livelihoods to reduce income risk. दूसरा statement, DDU-GKY दीन दयाल उपाध्याय ग्रामीण कौशल्य योजना and RSETI Rural Self Employment Training Institutes represent a continuum from wage employment to self employment. तीसरा स्टेटमेंट, लाइवलीहुड डाइवर्सिफिकेशन अंडर DAY-NRLM इज लिमिटेड टू एग्रीकल्चर एंड एलाइड सेक्टर्स। चौथा स्टेटमेंट, स्किल डेवलपमेंट अंडर द मिशन टारगेट्स बोथ यूथ एंड एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप। व्हिच ऑफ द स्टेटमेंट गिवन अबव करेक्ट? बताओ कौन सा का सही है? ऑप्शन ए इज करेक्ट। 1, 2, 4 स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट। एग्रीकल्चर लाइव स्टॉक माइक्रो enterprises leads to risk diversification. DDU-GKY jobs plus RSETI enterprises. Dual focus on placement and self-employment. Next question, which of the following best explain why DAY-NRLM is considered a global model of women-led development? पहला, women constitute the overwhelming majority of SHG members. दूसरा स्टेटमेंट, फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इज रूटेड थ्रू वुमेन कंट्रोल्ड इंस्टीट्यूशंस। तीसरा, वुमेन एक्ट एज इकोनॉमिक एजेंट रेदर देन पैसिव बेनिफिशियरीज। चौथा, द मिशन इंश्योर्स पॉलिटिकल रिजर्वेशन फॉर वुमेन इन रूरल गवर्नमेंट्स। सिलेक्ट द करेक्ट आंसर। ऑप्शन ए इज करेक्ट। 1, 2, 3 greater than 90% SHG members are women. SHG function as micro banking hubs, enterprise leadership, market linkage roles. UPSC technical takeaway, इसे पढ़ लें आप लोग, समझ जाइएगा बढ़िया से। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द प्राइमरी पॉलिसी रेशनल बिहाइंड रेस्ट्रिक्टिंग अंडरग्राउंड कोल गैसिफिकेशन यूसीजी प्रोजेक्ट टू कोल सीम्स बिलो 300 मीटर्स एंड इन लो परमिलिटी स्ट्राटा इज टू, पहला ऑप्शन इंश्योर इकोनॉमिक वायबिलिटी बाय टारगेटिंग हाई कैलोरीफिक कोल रिजर्व्स, ऑप्शन बी प्रिवेंट सरफेस लेवल इन्वायरमेंटल एक्सटर्नलिटीज एंड सब्सिडेंस रिस्क, ऑप्शन सी enable higher synthesis gas rich in hydrogen and CO yield through deeper thermal reactions, option D align UCG operations with existing underground mining safety norms. Which statement option is correct? B is correct. Prevent surface level environmental externalities and subsidence risk. The depth and low permeability conditions are explicitly aimed at preventing groundwater contamination and gas leakage and land subsidence. Next question, why does the draft UCG framework mandate a pilot feasibility study by an accredited technical institution before project approval? Option A is to standardize syngas pricing and downstream industrial use. Option B to ensure interministerial clearance before commercial exploitation. Option C to assess geological, environmental and operational uncertainties inherent in situ gasification. Option D to determine the market competitiveness of UCG vis-a-vis renewable energy resources. Which option is correct? Option C is correct. To assess geological, environmental and operational uncertainties inherent in situ gasification. UCG involves subsurface combustion and chemical reactions, making geological suitability, risk parameters and environmental impact critical. अगला सवाल, इंडेक्सिंग द माइन क्लोजर फंड कंट्रीब्यूशन टू द होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स WPI प्राइमरीली सिक्स टू, पहला ऑप्शन अलाइन द क्लोजर कॉस्ट विद एनर्जी सेक्टर इन्फ्लेशन ट्रेंड्स, ऑप्शन बी प्रोटेक्ट द रियल वैल्यू ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल रिमेडिएशन फंड्स ओवर टाइम, ऑप्शन सी डिस्करेज स्पेकुलेटिव एलोकेशन ऑफ UCG ब्लॉक्स, ऑप्शन डी सिंक्रोनाइज कोल सेक्टर प्राइसिंग विद इंडस्ट्रियल इनपुट्स कॉस्ट. Which option is correct? कौन सा सही है? ऑप्शन बी इज राइट. प्रोटेक्ट द रियल वैल्यू ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल रिमेडिएशन फंड्स ओवर टाइम. Indexation ensures the inflation does not erode the real value of closure and remediation funds, especially for long gestation projects. अगला सवाल, the provision allowing up to 75% release of mine closure fund after verified progressive closure reflects which regulatory principle? पहला ऑप्शन पोल्यूटर पेज प्रिंसिपल, ऑप्शन बी प्रिकॉशनरी प्रिंसिपल्स, ऑप्शन सी परफॉर्मेंस बेस्ड इन्वायरमेंटल कंप्लायंस, ऑप्शन डी कमांड एंड कंट्रोल रेगुलेशन. राइट आंसर इज सी परफॉर्मेंस बेस्ड इन्वायरमेंटल compliance. Fund release is linked to verified compliance and progressive closure incentivizing performance. Next question, from a strategic energy policy perspective, underground coal gasification UCG is considered supportive of India's national hydrogen mission, mainly because option A syngas production bypasses the need for coal combustion entirely. Option B hydrogen can be directly extracted as a primary output of UCG. Option C syngas serves as a feedstock for downstream hydrogen production with lower import dependence. Option D UCG enables carbon free hydrogen generation at a scale. Which option is correct? कौन सा सही है? Option C is right. Syngas serves as a feedback for downstream hydrogen production with lower import dependence. Syngas, which is rich in production hydrogen and carbon monoxide, can be further processed to produce hydrogen, supporting domestic supply chains. If you see analytical takeaway about UCG and others, you can go through it. Next question, with reference to the definition of identification of black spots on national highways in India, consider the following statements. Option A, first पहला statement, a block spot is identified over a fixed 500-meter stretch of a national highway. Second statement, a location qualifies as a black spot if it records 5 or more fatal accidents in one year. तीसरा statement, criteria include both accident frequency and fatality outcomes over a multi-year period. चौथा statement, black spots are identified only after field verification by central agencies. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option A is correct. 1 and 3. The special criterion is 500-meter NH stretch. The criteria include accidents with deaths, grievous injuries or fatalities over time. अगला सवाल, the shift from manual reporting by transport research being to EDR and IRAD platforms primarily improves road safety governance by पहला स्टेटमेंट, reducing time lags in identification of accident prone zones. दूसरा स्टेटमेंट, integrating मल्टी सोर्स डाटा बियॉन्ड पुलिस रिकॉर्ड्स. तीसरा स्टेटमेंट, एलिमिनेटिंग द नीड फॉर स्टेट लेवल वेरिफिकेशन मैकेनिज्म. चौथा, enhancing accountability in rectification of black spots. Select the correct answer using the code below. Option B is correct. 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4. Real time mapping speeds response. Data integration includes police, hospitals, and engineers. Digital tests improve transparency and responsibility. अगला सवाल, consider following statements regarding the institutional framework for black spot management. पहला statement, the nodal ministry for black spot policy formulation is Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. दूसरा, National Road Safety Council derives its mandate from the Motor Vehicles Act 1988. तीसरा, the National Road Safety Council is chaired by Prime Minister of India. चौथा, State PWD and National Highways Authority of India play a role in verification and monitoring. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option A is correct. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2 and 4. MOT is the nodal body. NRSC is constituted under Section 215 of the MVA Act 1988. State PWD and NHI handle verification and monitoring. अगला सवाल, which of the following outcomes logically follow for adopting real-time data-driven black spot mapping? पहला स्टेटमेंट, more targeted engineering intervention at accident-prone locations. दूसरा स्टेटमेंट, faster rectification cycles compared to legacy manual system. तीसरा स्टेटमेंट, automatic reduction in road fatalities without complementary enforcement. चौथा, improved alignment with India's international road safety commitments. Select the correct answer. कौन सा सही है? B option is correct. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2 and 4. Evidence enables precision fixes. Digital system reduce delays. Aligns with UN decade of action goals. अगला सवाल, the transition of EDR and IRAD based black spot identification reflects which broader governance principles? एविडेंस बेस्ड, पहला स्टेटमेंट एविडेंस बेस्ड पॉलिसी मेकिंग. दूसरा, कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म थ्रू सेंट्रल हेड कोऑर्डिनेशन. तीसरा, प्रिवेंटिव रेगुलेशन रिप्लेसिंग पोस्ट फैक्टो इंटरवेंशन. चौथा, कंप्लीट डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन ऑफ रोड सेफ्टी गवर्नमेंट टू स्टेट्स. व्हिच आर करेक्ट? बी ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. Policy decisions encoded in real-time data. Central platforms plus state verification indicate cooperative federalism. Early identification enables preventive corrections. UPSC analytical takeaways. Next question, what makes the Maldives generation tobacco ban on a global first in tobacco control policy? पहला ऑप्शन, it imposes a complete ban on tobacco use for all age groups. Option B, it links tobacco prohibition to a fixed birth cohort rather than age at purchase. Option C, it bans tobacco use only for citizens while exempting tourists. Option D, it criminalizes tobacco production in addition to consumption. Right answer is B. It links tobacco prohibition to a fixed birth cohort rather than at purchase. The defining innovation is the birth cohort-based prohibition born on or after 1st January 2007, not a universal or age-based ban. Next question. Why is the Maldives policy considered aligned with the tobacco endgame paradigm rather than conventional tobacco control? पहला ऑप्शन था इट prioritizes demand reduction through a taxation and advertising bans. Option B, it seeks to gradually eliminate tobacco use instead of merely regulating it. Option C, it focuses primarily on preventing illicit tobacco trade. Option D, it relies on voluntary cessation programs rather than legislation. Which option is correct? Option B is correct. It seeks to gradually eliminate tobacco use instead of merely regulating it. The tobacco endgame represents a paradigm shift from control to eradication of tobacco use. अगला सवाल, द मालदीव्स बैन ऑन ई सिगरेट्स एंड वैपिंग डिवाइसेज. वैपिंग डिवाइसेज कहते हैं बैटरी ऑपरेटेड डिवाइसेज दैट हीट ए लिक्विड एंड प्रोड्यूस एन एरोसोल. दे कम इन मेनी शेप्स एंड साइजेज एंड दे टाइपिकली contain nicotine. Across all age groups, primarily reflects which public health concern. Option A, their role as harm reduction tools that delay smoking cessation. Option B, their potential to act as gateway to nicotine addiction among youth. Option C, their contribution to second-hand smoke exposure. Option D, their classification of illicit tobacco products under international law. Which option is correct? Option B is correct. Their potential to act as a gateway to nicotine addiction among youth. The rationale is to prevent nicotine initiation, especially among youth, consistent with endgame thinking. अगला सवाल, which feature of the World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control (WHO FCTC) best supports the Maldives Generation Tobacco ban? पहला ऑप्शन आर्टिकल 6 प्राइस एंड टैक्स मेजर्स टू रिड्यूस डिमांड. ऑप्शन बी आर्टिकल 8 प्रोटेक्शन फ्रॉम एक्सपोजर टू टोबैको स्मोक. ऑप्शन सी आर्टिकल 13 कम्प्रहेंसिव बैन ऑन टोबैको एडवर्टाइजिंग. ऑप्शन डी आर्टिकल 5.3 प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ पब्लिक हेल्थ पॉलिसी फ्रॉम टोबैको इंडस्ट्री इंटरफेरेंस. कौन सही है? ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट. ऑप्शन डी सही. आर्टिकल 5.3 प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ पब्लिक हेल्थ पॉलिसी फ्रॉम टोबैको इंडस्ट्री इंटरफेरेंस. A generation ban requires strong insulation from industry influence, which is the core intent of Article 5.3. अगला सवाल, from a global health governance perspective, the Maldives Generation Tobacco ban is most likely to contribute to which UN Sustainable Development Goals (SDG) target? पहला ऑप्शन SDG 3.3 ending communicable diseases. ऑप्शन बी SDG 3.4 reducing premature mortality from non-communicable diseases. ऑप्शन सी SDG 12.3 halving food waste. ऑप्शन डी SDG 16.1 reducing violence related deaths. Tobacco use a major driver of non-communicable diseases. Eliminating it directly to advantages SDG 3.4. आप लोग इसे देख लीजिए, यूपीसी एनालिटिकल टेकाबेज, वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विथ रेफरेंस टू इंडियाज ट्रांजिशन फ्रॉम फूड सिक्योरिटी टू न्यूट्रिशनल सिक्योरिटी, कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स. ऑप्शन ए, द ट्रांजिशन रिफ्लेक्ट्स ए शिफ्ट फ्रॉम कैलोरी sufficiency to addressing macronutrients deficiency and lifestyle diseases. दूसरा स्टेटमेंट, फंक्शनल फूड्स एंड स्मार्ट प्रोटीन्स आर पॉलिसी टूल्स टू simultaneously address malnutrition and environmental sustainability. ऑप्शन सी स्टेटमेंट 3, न्यूट्रिशन सिक्योरिटी primarily aims at eliminating hunger by expanding cereal based public distribution. चौथा स्टेटमेंट, द शिफ्ट इज ड्राइवन इक्वली बाय पब्लिक हेल्थ कंसर्न्स एंड इकोलॉजिकल कॉन्स्टेंट्स. कौन सा ऑप्शन सही है? ऑप्शन ए इज करेक्ट. 1 to 4, 1, 2 and 4 स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट. न्यूट्रिशनल सिक्योरिटी फोकसेस ऑन क्वालिटी नॉट जस्ट क्वांटिटी. स्मार्ट प्रोटीन्स रिड्यूस इमिशंस. फंक्शनल फूड्स एड्रेस डिफिशिएंसीज. health, NCD, and environment GHG emissions are dual drivers. अगला सवाल, which of the following best distinguish functional foods from smart proteins in the Indian context? पहला स्टेटमेंट, functional foods enhance nutrition within existing dietary patterns. दूसरा, smart proteins aim to replace or supplement conventional animal protein sources. तीसरा, functional foods rely exclusively on laboratory based production technology. चौथा स्टेटमेंट, smart proteins have potential to significantly reduce livestock related GHG emissions. इसमें से कौन सा सही है? बी सही है. 1 to 4. 1 to 4 are correct. Biofortified staples fit into existing diets. Smart proteins are substitutes to or alternatives up to 90% emission reduction. Next question, India's protein deficit is best explained by? पहला ऑप्शन स्टेटमेंट, एवरेज प्रोटीन इंटेक below the FAO recommended norm. So statement दूसरा, सेकंड, स्ट्रक्चरल डाइटरी डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन अर्बन एंड रूरल पॉपुलेशंस. स्टेटमेंट थर्ड, agriculture aversion to minimal protein across all regions. Fourth statement, limited domestic availability of alternative protein technologies. Which are the above correct? Option B is correct. 1 to 4. 1, 2 and 4. 47, G versus FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United States Nations norm of 16G. Urban diets have 25 to 30% more protein. Infrastructure and tech ecosystem are underdeveloped. अगला सवाल, the absence of Food Safety and Standards Authority of India FSSAI standards for cultivated and fermentation based on foods creates which policy challenges? पहला स्टेटमेंट, रेगुलेटरी अनसर्टेनिटी फॉर स्टार्टअप्स एंड इन्वेस्टर्स. दूसरा स्टेटमेंट, पोटेंशियल कंज्यूमर सेफ्टी एंड ट्रस्ट डिफिसिट्स. तीसरा स्टेटमेंट, ऑटोमेटिक एक्सक्लूजन ऑफ सच फूड्स फ्रॉम इंडियन मार्केट्स. ऑप्शन चौथा स्टेटमेंट, डिले इन स्केलिंग स्मार्ट प्रोटीन इनोवेशंस. इसमें कौन सा सही है? चार ऑप्शन में ऑप्शन ए इज राइट. 1 to 4, 1, 2 and 4 are correct. Unclear rules, retail investment, safety concerns reduce public trust. Innovation cannot scale without regulatory clarity. अगला सवाल, which of the following policy measures if implemented would most effectively ensure inclusive nutritional transformation? पहला स्टेटमेंट, incentivizing biofortified crops through MSP and public procurement, expanding nutritional biotechnology skills in agriculture universities, relying solely on market forces to reduce prices of functional foods. चौथा स्टेटमेंट, integrating awareness on nutrition literacy into school education. Which option is correct? Option A is correct. 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4. Ensures farmer inclusion and affordability, addresses long-term skill gaps, behavior change is essential for acceptance and demand. यूपीएससी आर्टिकल टेक अवेज, इसे आप पढ़ लीजिए बढ़िया से. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द प्राइमरी रेगुलेटरी सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ इंट्रोड्यूसिंग ए मैंडेटरी कंट्री ऑफ ओरिजिन फिल्टर ऑन ई-कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइज इन द फैक्ट दैट. पहला ऑप्शन, इंट्रोड्यूसेज ए न्यू फॉर्म ऑफ ट्रेड रेस्ट्रिक्शन और इम्पोर्टेड गुड्स. ऑप्शन बी, ऑपरेशनलाइजेज कंज्यूमर चॉइस बाय इंटीग्रेटिंग डिस्क्लोजर इनटू डिजिटल परचेज इंटरफेस. ऑप्शन सी, मैंडेट्स प्रेफरेंशियल विजिबिलिटी टू डोमेस्टिकली मैन्युफैक्चर्ड प्रोडक्ट्स. ऑप्शन डी, सब्स्टिट्यूट्स टैरिफ बेस्ड प्रोटेक्शन विथ नॉन टैरिफ कंज्यूमर रेगुलेशंस. व्हिच इज ट्रू? B. Option B is correct. Operationalizes consumer choice by integrating disclosure into digital purchase interface. The reform does not ban or restrict imports nor mandate preferences. अगला सवाल, why is the inclusion of a country of origin filter under Rule 610 of the Legal Methodology Package Commodities Rules 2011 particularly significant? Option A, because rule 6 deals with taxation and custom compliance. Option B, because it governs mandatory declarations that must be visible before sale. Option C, because Rule 6 applies exclusively to foreign manufactured goods. Option D, because it enables retrospective enforcement on past e-commerce transactions. Which option is correct? Option B is correct, because it governs mandatory declaration that must be visible before sale. Rule 6 concerns mandatory pre-sale declaration for packaged commodities, embedding the filter here ensures visibility before purchase, not after delivery. Next question, the proposed amendment most directly addresses which regulatory gap in India's consumer protection ecosystem? Option A, absence of price discovery mechanisms in digital markets, asymmetry between disclosure norms in physical retail and e-commerce. Option C, lack of enforcement powers with state legal methodology departments. Option D, non-alignment of Indian labeling laws with WTO trade disciplines. इसमें कौन सा सही है, कौन सा ऑप्शन? ऑप्शन बी सही है, सिमेट्री बिटवीन डिस्क्लोजर नॉर्म्स इन फिजिकल रिटेल एंड ई-कॉमर्स. Traditional retail already requires visible country of origin labels on packages. Digital platforms often bury such information, creating asymmetry. अगला सवाल, from a policy perspective, how does the draft amendment align with Atmanirbhar Bharat without violating consumer neutrality? पहला ऑप्शन, by mandating exclusive promotion of Indian goods. Option B, by restricting imports through digital marketplaces. Option C, by enabling informed consumer choice rather than coercive preference. Option D, by imposing higher compliance cost on foreign brands. कौन सा ऑप्शन सही है? ऑप्शन सी सही है, करेक्ट है, by enabling informed consumer choice rather than coercive preference. The policy nudges through information, not compulsion. Consumers remain free to buy imported goods. अगला सवाल, which of the following best explains why the amendment applies again to private labels and foreign brands? पहला ऑप्शन, to expand the tax base of e-commerce transactions. दूसरा, to ensure informed disclosure norms irrespective of brand ownership. तीसरा, to discourage malnutritional participation in Indian e-commerce. चौथा ऑप्शन, to harmonize consumer law with competition law provisions. Which option is correct? Option B is correct, to ensure informed disclosure norms irrespective of brand ownership. The intent is non-discriminatory transparency across all packaged goods. UPSC analytical takeaway. Go through it. Very informative. Next question, with reference to the constitutional basis of Supreme Court's ruling, and consider following statements. पहला स्टेटमेंट, आर्टिकल 22(1) mandates that the grounds of arrest must be communicated in a manner intelligible to the arrestee. और सेकंड स्टेटमेंट, आर्टिकल 21 elevates procedural requirements in arrest to the level of substantive due processes. The ruling treats Articles 21 and 22 as independent and mutually exclusive safeguards. The court interpreted as soon as may be to include the requirement of written communication. इसमें से कौन सा ऑप्शन सही है? ऑप्शन ए इज करेक्ट. 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4 are correct statements. Communication must be meaningful, not symbolic. Article 21 imports fairness and reasonableness into arrest procedures. Oral or unaudible communication was held insufficient. Next question, the Supreme Court's ruling marks a significant shift primarily because it, पहला ऑप्शन, extent of safeguards earlier limited to special laws like UAPA or PMLA to all arrests. Second option, converts a procedural irregularity into a jurisdictional defect in rendering arrest illegal. तीसरा स्टेटमेंट, creates a new fundamental right relating to language and literacy. Option D, applies uniformity to arrest under IPC as well as भारतीय न्याय संहिता BNS. Which of the following of the correct? Option A is correct. 1, first, second, and fourth are correct. Protection is now universal, not confined to a special statute. Non-compliance invalidates the rest itself. Explicit extension to general criminal law. Next question. According to the judgment, which of the following do not satisfy the constitutional requirement of informing grounds of arrest? Pehla statement, reading out the grounds orally in a language not understood by arrestee. Second, handing over written grounds in a language unfamiliar to the arrestee. Statement third, providing written grounds in a comprehensible language after producing the accused before a magistrate. Statement 4, supplying written grounds in a language the arrestee understands at the time of arrest. Select the correct answer. Option A is correct. First and second. First and second both face the test of meaningful communication. अगला सवाल, the ruling strengthens procedural fairness in criminal justice by ensuring that the arrestee can effectively consult a legal practitioner. Second statement, the arrestee can meaningfully apply for bail. तीसरा statement, arrest automatically become void if the arrestee is illiterate. Option चौथा statement, police discretion in arrest is subjected to high judicial scrutiny. Which of the above correct? Option A is correct. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. Legal consultation requires understanding the charges. Bail application depend on clarity of allegations. Arrest documentation will now face closer scrutiny. Next question, which of the following are likely systematic implications of the Supreme Court's ruling? पहला स्टेटमेंट, रिवीजन ऑफ पुलिस अरेस्ट मैनुअल्स एंड स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीड्योर्स. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट, डेवलपमेंट ऑफ मल्टीलिंगुअल अरेस्ट मेमो टेम्पलेट्स. तीसरा स्टेटमेंट, रिडक्शन इन अरेस्ट पावर्स ऑफ पुलिस अंडर सब्सटेंटिव क्रिमिनल लॉ. स्टेटमेंट फोर्थ, ग्रेटर जुडिशियल एम्फेसिस ऑन अरेस्ट स्टेज ड्यू प्रोसेस. सिलेक्ट द करेक्ट आंसर. ऑप्शन ए इज करेक्ट. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4 are correct. Procedural updates are inevitable. Language compliance requires standardized translations. Courts will closely examine arrest legality. EPSC analytical takeaways. Go through it. Very informative. Next question. The core concern raised by Niti Aayog regarding the aggressive expansion of QCO quality control order is that it may, पहला ऑप्शन, dilute consumer safety due to excessive regulatory burden. Second statement, reduce domestic manufacturing by discouraging formalization. Option C, create supply disruptions and cost escalation without adequate domestic capacity. Fourth option, lead to complete withdrawal of foreign firms from Indian markets. Option C is correct. Create supply disruptions and cost escalation without adequate domestic capacity. The report concerns that capacity constraints, misaligned standards and inadequate testing infrastructure can cause shortages and police spikes. Next question, why does Niti Aayog consider the focus of QCO on the raw materials and intermediate goods particularly problematic? Option A, because finished goods pose greater risk to consumer safety. Option B, because intermediates are often imported and not produced domestically at a scale. Option C, because raw materials are exempt from global quality regulations. Option D, because QCO on intermediate violate WTA rules per se. The right answer is B, because intermediates are often imported and not produced domestically at a scale. Indian industry depend heavily on imported intermediates. QCO have created bottlenecks and price inflation. Next question, misalignment of Indian standards under QCO with ISO, ASTM, EU and US norms primarily affects Indian industry by increasing domestic consumer prices alone, reducing interoperability and export competitiveness, preventing India from participating in global value chains entirely. Option D, triggering automatic trade sanctions under WTO agreements. Option B is correct. Reducing interoperability and export competitiveness. Different standards raise compliance cost and reduce acceptance of Indian exports. Next question: the inadequacy of BIS dedicated testing infrastructure affects MSME disproportionately because पहला option MSME are illegally barred from accessing private testing facilities. Second option, MSME operate on just-in-time supply chains with thin working capital. तीसरा option, MSME is exempt from most QCO compliance and requirements. चौथा option, MSME rely exclusively on export markets. Delays and high testing costs can be essential for MSMEs. Next question. According to CSEP, Center for Social and Economic Progress, finding the long-term impact of QCO on imports is best described as पहला option A, permanent and welfare enhancing reduction in imports. Option B, a short-term decline followed by complete restitution with domestic supply. Option C, a sharp reduction especially in intermediates causing domestic price pressures. Option D, a neutral effect as imports substitute to alternative routes. Which option is correct? Option C is correct. Sharp reduction, especially in intermediates, causing domestic price pressures. Imports fall sharply up to 30% in intermediates, but domestic shortages raise prices. Next question: why do exports initially rise after the introduction of QCO but decline in the medium term? पहला option, initial quality upgrades improve exports but higher inputs cost and delays later erode competitiveness. Option B, exporters exploit temporary exemptions before full enforcement. Option C, foreign demand collapses due to regulatory uncertainty in India. Option D, domestic procedures divert output from exports to domestic markets permanently. Which option is correct? Option A is correct. Initial quality upgrades improve exports but higher input cost and delay later erode competitiveness. The quality gains initially followed by cost and flexibility constants. Next question: which factor most directly explains why labor-intensive downstream sectors like footwear and apparel are hit hardest by QCO? Option A, these sectors rely exclusively on important finished goods. Option B, input cost inflation reduces price competitiveness and employment potential. Option C, they face the strict consumer safety regulations. Option D, they are excluded from export incentives. Right answer is option B. The input cost inflation reduces price competitiveness and employment potential. 15 to 30% high input cost will undermine competitiveness and job creation. Next question: the exemption of ACG, special medium exporters, from QCO compliance but not domestic tariff area, MSE, macro, small and medium enterprises, leads to ये पहला ऑप्शन द uniform export advantage for all Indian firms. Option B, reduce compliance cost for domestic MSMEs. Option C, a competitive advantage for MSE operating outside SEG. चौथा ऑप्शन, automatic relocation of MSE into SEG. Right answer is, that option is correct. C, a competitive disadvantage for MSE operating outside SEG. MSE outside SEG cannot bypass QCO even for export-linked imports. Next question: which governance challenge most strongly increases the regulatory burden of QCO on industry? पहला ऑप्शन, excessive judicial intervention. दूसरा ओवरलैपिंग मैंडेट्स ऑफ मल्टीपल रेगुलेटर्स एंड स्कीम्स, तीसरा लैक ऑफ इन्फोर्समेंट बाय स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, चौथा एब्सेंस ऑफ पेनल्टीज फॉर नॉन कंप्लायंस। द राइट आंसर इज बी, ओवरलैपिंग mandates of multiple regulators and schemes. Overlaps with FSSAI environmental rules, PLI and customs standards create compliance complexity. Next question, which policy reforms would most effectively transform QCO into tools of industrial upgrading rather than compliance burden? पहला ऑप्शन, इमीडिएट एंड यूनिवर्सल इन्फोर्समेंट अक्रॉस ऑल सेक्टर्स। दूसरा ऑप्शन बी, टारगेटिंग QCOs primarily at finished goods and aligning standards globally. ऑप्शन सी, eliminating QCO for MSA altogether. ऑप्शन डी, using QCO solely as an import restriction instrument. The right answer is B, targeting QCO primarily at finished goods with aligning standards globally. The finished goods focus, global alignment, phased rollout and capacity building. Analytical efficient takeaways, you go through it. Now वीडियो एंड्स हियर, वीडियो आज समाप्त होता है यहाँ पे। उम्मीद आप लोगों को पसंद आया होगा। इसे बार बार देखें, बार बार समझे, पढ़े, नोट करें। ये काफ़ी यूजफुल है सभी एग्जामिनेशन के लिए। और हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल MSQ अड्डा को सब्सक्राइब करें, लाइक करें और वीडियो को ज़्यादा शेयर करें और बेल आइकन प्रेस करें ताकि हमारा वीडियो अपलोड होते ही उसकी नोटिफिकेशन आप तक पहुंच सके। फिर मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए